Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Deathmatch Russell Podcast. Let's get it on!
Come into the ring, step into the fire, see what you want, baby. If your heart has desire, and get up, get knocked down. Deathmatch Russell Podcast, Deathmatch Russell Podcast, Deathmatch Russell Podcast.
Good evening, everyone, and you're listening to another episode of the Deathmatch Russell Podcast. My guest at this time, she's just a podcaster herself, as well as me, and a whole bunch of other stuff as well in the wrestling world. Samira, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. How was that? I don't want to say all the stuff we had, critics and this, and that, all that other stuff that I contact. Everybody puts in there, but
it's all good. Many names to the. I always say, women of all trades.
That's the best way to put it. You know, that's the best way to put it. But how you doing this evening? Pretty good.
I'm doing good. You know, came from work, was on a podcast before this, and now we're here live, doing really good.
Yeah. Another one, and that's good, and more to come. Lots of podcasts as always. You know how that goes as a podcaster, you know.
Yep, I love it though. It's fun to talk with a bunch of different people about wrestling.
Now yourself, what got you involved with wrestling as a kid growing up? Ooh, let's start the easy. Yeah. Let's start the easy questions.
So my family was actually into it. Like when my grandfather was alive, he used to come home from work like every Saturday and like turn on, you know, the wrestling, which got my like uncle into it. So with my uncle like watching it for them like the rest of his life, got me and my brother into it as kids. Now my brother doesn't watch it anymore, hasn't watched it in years, but I still stuck on with it since I was a kid. And I just like loved it so much. It was something different, and not a lot of, you know, of course, not a lot of women and girls like it like growing up, but it was something that I loved and I still do love.
That's awesome. And who are your favorites growing up?
Oh, Randy Orton, he's still like my number one. John Cena, of course, because you're a kid and you're like, oh, John Cena, because you know he's the baby face. Oh yeah. Gosh, who else was around at the time? Kelly, Melina, Mickey James, like all those. Oh, Triple H, like oh man, that was like such an era back then.
China. I always mention China, and you know, yeah, just like Tori Wilson, just everybody, like really, you know, the early generation to the now. It's like wow, right? You think about like the new generation, it's like so many names, and it's like you're like stumble upon. You're like, and I was like, you know what? I had never heard of Asuka before, like really, because I got recently. I like telling the story how Game Changer had a wrestling show at Hard Rock Casino a couple weeks back. You know, we had the big super weekend, and WWE was running a show on Sunday, and I got to go for free. I talked to I was standing in line looking for tickets myself to go, you know, because our show ended, the afternoon show ended, and I got a free ticket from a lady because she needed a charger on her cell phone. So I sat floor seat, and I caught Asuka, Ricochet, Becca Belair. I think her name is, or Belair, or whatever her name is. I caught Ricochet, of course, and Gunner. And Sheamus and Usos. I was like, this is awesome. I got to see like Sheamus because I remember seeing him at a lot of house shows back you know, when WWE was really good doing house shows at the, you know, in Prudential Center and everywhere else, you know. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I remember hearing that they were doing GCW and like the next day was WWE house show. So I thought that was pretty cool.
It was cool. And the funny thing is, like a lot of, you know, the guys wrestling, you know, all the people that are going to the wrestling were going there too. And then right in front of me was my coworker sitting right in front of me. Oh my gosh,
no way.
Like, yeah, with his son, I'm like, oh, this is great, man. You know, and my other coworkers were in the bleachers. I'm like, this is crazy. You never know who you run into at a show, you know?
Yeah, it's always interesting to see. I know I've like some shows that I've gone to, like house shows, and you just see people like, oh, hey, like, what are you doing here? So it's so interesting always to run into them.
Now, let me ask you this. What was it like for your experience going to see Ric Flair's last match? Ooh.
Oh my god, that was. Gosh, I don't know.
Because I know that Game Changer had the invasion there as well. That was really cool. Yeah, a couple of guys ran in and did a couple of things.
Yeah, we actually, me and my friends missed out on the pre-show and didn't know GCW invaded, and we were just like, and we were seeing it. We're like, GCW invaded. We're missing it as the Uber is taking us there. We're like, no. Oh my god! But we were still so excited for them because they're doing such an amazing job over at GCW. I really love what they do, and that show itself was amazing with like talent from each promotion. Like, oh my god, it was insane. And then the last match itself was like you can't like you didn't want to sit down. You just needed to stand and like just be in the moment and actually being there physically. It was oh my god. All I did was like I was praying for him. I was like I just want this to go well. I hope it goes great, and it was such an amazing match, and just like being there, that energy, especially with the crowd, and you're just like holding your breath. You're just like this is it right here, and it just leaves you speechless.
That's awesome to see. At least you got to see a historic, something historic, and somebody that we grew, that paved the way for wrestling. Really, you think also really did.
Oh, definitely, 100%. I think that he said like he like passed out twice during the match, if I like read correctly, and I was like, oh my god, like there was times that you could definitely tell, and it was like scary. You just like were hoping he was going to be okay, but it seemed like he did, a great job for his last match. It was really good. They all put on such a great show, especially like Jeff Jarrett fighting with like the fans and stuff. Like I thought that was so insane. I was like laughing. I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett, man, he's never done. He's gonna.
Oh my god, he did so amazing.
I'll tell you what. I remember the angle with him and Effie. That was such a great angle. Like that was a perfect angle. And they still never finished the match. Like it's still gonna happen eventually down the road.
Yeah, I was so shocked by that. I remember like seeing that on Twitter. I was like, "What? Jeff Jarrett's at GCW? What's going on here?"
And I was there for that night, and actually behind the camera, I know the guy who runs the camera, Gene Carlo. Shout out to my buddy. And I was in the lobby, and I ran to the restroom, and he's like, "Hey," and I actually walked away, and I was in the lobby, and the elevator was closed, and Jarrett was right there. Yeah. So I was like, "Oops, sorry about that." Yeah. So I saw Jarrett in the corner of my eye,
Yeah, oh my god, that must have been so cool. He's such a legend.
But anyway, yeah, but besides that, let's there's something coming up in February. Let's talk about this. This is exciting. Isn't this awesome? Like we're gonna have the very first of the rebirth, the relaunching of Goddesses of War tournament by Damage 316, presented by Damage 316, the 316 Cup female tournament, 18 competitors, and you're part of it. What do you think of that? Being a part of a panel of like a tournament that's good, fans, everybody's gonna love. It's going to be an amazing night of the female action.
I'm very excited. I was very honored when they reached out to me. They're running this female wrestling promotion, and I felt very honored that they wanted me to be a part of it as, someone that's, continuing trying to make a name for herself in this business as a wrestling broadcaster. And, it's my first time coming on
and announcer.
Yeah,
ring announce. Yeah, so that's like 2 off the list, bucket list, right? That's like
I'm very excited as I've done ring announcing for not wrestling before. Like for one thing, Pillow Fight Championship, I got to do it one time, and so it's a different thing. But I'm very excited to be stepping into also a new role, doing ring announcing, and I'm like been learning and like practicing. So I'm really excited, and I see some of my friends already getting announced on this card, and I'm like very excited.
Yes,
talented women. I'm very excited to be a part of this show with all these amazing women.
I'm so excited, and it's going to be at the Brick, VFW. Actually, shout out to my dad because it's his post. He's a member of the post, and I am as well. So it's going to be a very good evening, but of female action, and we still have more to be announced. It's like that's the best part. We still got like 8 more people to keep going, and competitors. But the panel of the panel is really full. It's really a good line of people, and that females to have done stuff. And I've had them already on the podcast, a couple already. I mean, one more to go. Candace will be on in October. I'm looking. I was like, let me push you guys, get you out there. Let's hear about what they got to say about the females division. And I know that you're excited because we said, we know a lot of the names as well. We're pretty up to date with everybody. Some people aren't, and some people are. You know what I mean? But they'll know who they see in the ring. And we're having a fan fest. What do you think of that? That's pretty cool.
So exciting. I love Fan Fest.
Yes.
I do conventions all the time, or sometimes like one of the shows they'll have Fan Fest. I love that. So I'm sure like all the fans will come out, have a good time, and support some women's wrestling because all these ladies are killing it. I'm excited to see who yet they have to announce because already they got such a great lineup. I can't wait to see who else will be there and just like showcase women's wrestling because they're really taking over this business right now and thriving.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What was your last convention? Ooh.
I'm pretty sure. I think it was StarCast technically.
Yeah, with because did you Chelsea or was that something that was
Yep, that was Chelsea Green and Deanna Peraza. I'm pretty sure were the only women that I got to interview, but lovely girls, very lovely.
That must be a fun time just to go, hold a microphone and just talk to all these wrestlers. Like, well, it's like a huge event going on. It's like what do I say to them, right? You're like, what do I do? You have your note, you get your notes, you just think ahead of time, right? Prepare.
Yeah, I always do my research, like, and whatever knowledge I know, because I always follow a bunch of all the wrestling, but of course I do my research and know what I want to ask, like, because of course, like, these fan fests are, about the fans meeting them. It's not, about me.
Yeah,
but I do take my opportunity when, there's no fans around or like it's kind of slowed down because of course the fans come first. I would never come in the way of any fans, and I go and I ask them a few questions and get their time, and it's always good to see them because I'm friends with some of them, so it was so great. It was a nice event, and I felt very honored they let me come and be a part of the media and get to do interviews and be a part of the scrum. It was such a great time at StarCast this year.
It really was a good time. I'm jealous I wasn't there. I was supporting it though by watching, everybody, because my friends were like, oh man, you should go. But I was like, I'll wait till next time. There's always some fun big event coming, you never know, But
there's always so many fun things that happens throughout like multiple times through the years. There's always going to be another show, another fan fest. So yeah,
I know. It looks like they're doing some stuff at the Prudential Center for AEW. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I can try to squeeze my way there in October or something. I don't know, or November. I'd like to get to an AEW show. I have not gone yet at all.
Oh, they're so much fun in person. Like the crowd energy. I've never experienced anything like that. My first AEW show was actually Revolution in Orlando. I went to go do press, and I've never been to an AEW show. And like the feeling and the vibe and the energy in the arena, I've never felt anything like that before. It was so exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now it's like it's bigger than better. It's better now. And they're doing good. Tony's an awesome person. Shout out to Tony. Even though him and Punk had a little issue there, but that's okay. Everything's going on, or whatever, the little heat that's going on, right now. We keep up to date, but it's amazing to see the women's division there. Thunder Rosa is really like the lady that really branches out that promotion. You think about it, and to the younger generation, the new generation as well, and the legends. Like they bring people all over, from AEW to come in. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing to see people come from Japan or wherever they might come from. I love like giving them a platform to a bigger audience because they do have a TV deal, and it's good to see a bunch of people come from different parts of the world and showcase this on TV and like all these amazing talent. I love that, especially when you have dark oh my god, right? Yeah. I'm like elevation, dark elevation. I'm like my head is everywhere right now. And that's good. They bring in like some of these independent stars to showcase them as well, to show what they can do, and it also shows like, hey, like we see you out here working and killing it, and we want to give you opportunity and like show what you can do here as well. So I think that's cool. So then that gives them more eyes as well to the independent promotions.
Yeah, it's like we get to, like and we see them all the time, and we know it's good for the to get the push. It's an experience. It's an experience for them to see what it is, and then they get that call. That's good. It's a good experience. Learn because that's what they're there for, to learn. And to grow and do what they like to do, wrestle. In front of a bigger crowd instead of a smaller 20, 100 people crowd.
Yeah, and it's amazing. I've gotten to, see some of my friends on Dark Elevation, and I'm like always so proud of them. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're gonna kill it.
Oh, look at this. Ooh, we got people popping in here. Hello there. Oh, Charles, shout out to Titan Championship Wrestling owner and the Goddesses of War order, Charles, as well. So hello, Charles. I'll see you guys. See you Saturday for causing damage. Who is this? Ella J?
Ella J, that is my friend, also fellow podcaster. She's amazing.
Oh, maybe I'll have to grab her on the pod. Ooh, I like talking wrestling. I like mixing it up with wrestling. And like now it's like, and it's just amazing what wrestling's come a long way. Like, who are your favorites on AEW? Ooh, who do you like? Who are your? There's so many. I like Sammy and Ty. They're great. Of course, they're the married couple. It's great to see them.
I like MJF, John Moxley, Britt Baker, Tony Storm. I really love everybody there. Everybody brings something different to the table, and I really enjoy that. Everybody has their own skill, and I just love watching AEW. It's great.
Now I'll tell you my experience with MJF way back, because I hated his guts. I used to be at Combat Zone Wrestling all the time when he was with Penelope Ford, was like his backup model, or somebody else was Maria or whatever, that Maria Manic character. And oh my God, I got a toilet paper wars with him and Twitter wars and blocked on Twitter. It was great. That's just MJF. But no, nowadays a lot of wrestlers are awesome. It's fun to see these people wrestle, and you're like, you know what? I've seen your career go so far over the years. It's awesome. I mean, like I always say, it's a shame how like Marco Stunt got let go, and Joey Janela, two guys that really, Joey, I knew Joey since he was 16 years old, watching him first wrestle. Isn't that crazy? Like these kids, people start really young, but Joey's doing better and Marco Stunt as well, so they're doing what they'd like to do, wrestle and have fun. Think about it. Joey's right now in the UK wrestling. Come on. Like, they're doing a Game Changer show this weekend in the UK. I'm like, it's amazing, They're going to be showcasing their talent to the UK talent.
It's definitely very exciting for them. I know I've been seeing like the posts on Twitter. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is insane. But I'm so happy for them, and we get to see them mix it up with the UK wrestlers as well. So that's a very exciting time.
Yeah, and Effie as well. So shout out to Effie. I love Effie. Effie's the best. I wish you did. I told Effie I need to get a hold of Brett. We need to have like a brunch in Atlantic City for like New Year's or something. Let's get the LGBT show to come, a gay brunch to come. It would be awesome. But I have a feeling that's going to come down the line with the collective coming up and stuff. Down the road, because I know they want to try to do something. Again, that's an experience for fans if they ever never been to like a collective, like it's a whole bunch of promotions gathered together.
Yeah, that was like so much fun in Dallas. I got to like experience like the collective together. That was like, it was so insane. It was so much fun.
Yeah, the experience to see all the promotions and wrestlers and female talent. It's really a cool experience. But let's go back to the women's division of AEW. Who do you like? Ooh, this is fun.
I usually like everybody. I'm always like, oh, I like everybody, but Britt Baker.
I was gonna say Britt.
Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, even though she's out with injury. There's so many great women on their roster, and they have such a great women's division that, I hope they continue to bring more attention to it. I believe that's the right word, because they do have a great roster. And I believe they, I strongly believe they deserve more TV time.
Mm-hmm. But we're going to have our own fun with these female talents at the Goddesses of War. And that's what we're going to really see some, because we've seen what they can bring to the table at local independent shows. And, we've seen that what they can do. And this is the tournament that's like, we're excited for this. Like, I'm going to bring streamers that night. I'm going to bring streamers to have fun. Throw streamers. I'm a streamer lover, So anybody listening to the podcast, bring streamers, throw them. It's going to be a fun night, for the females. We support the female that night. It's going to be really all. I'm so excited. Like, just to go see a good female wrestling. Like, I don't remember like ever going, like, I know, shout out to Dave Prazak, who works with Shiver, and that's a female promotion. There's so many good promotions out there. Female Mission Pro Wrestling. Shout out to Mission Pro Wrestling as well. That's one place I want to go see. I'd like to go out there and check that out eventually. Some bucket list of places. Where would you like to go? Where would you like to go see wrestling at? Ooh, or be at?
Ooh.
Like Japan. I want to go to Japan. I still need to go to Japan. That's another bucket list place. UK would be nice. Like everywhere, right? Just everywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, same here. I would love to travel anywhere to do wrestling or watch wrestling, but a bucket list thing of mine would definitely be to travel back to the Middle East for a show, to like maybe even be a part of the show. That would be like the entire world to me, because I'm Lebanese, and I'd like to do something there in the Middle East that, oh my God, that would be so surreal.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if you did that and support them. That'd be cool. Yeah, bring a show and they'd be like, "What's this? This is wrestling. Here you go." Have fun. They would be like, "What is this?" The kids be all excited. It'd be like us as kids. We first open a Christmas present.
Yeah.
But what got you into just writing in general for the wrestling? What basically? It came down to the point where in college I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was taking general studies, and I was between communications and teaching. I love to talk to people, so that's where the communication kind of came from. And teaching, I love kids, and something like came about through with the wrestling website. I was doing my own thing on my own channel, and like they were looking for something to do with their YouTube channel. Thought, let's test things out with me. And once I did my first test interview, they liked what they saw. They brought me on. I just knew in my head right there that communication was the thing for me and where I needed to go. So then after that first interview came everything else. My first in-person interviews, like convention, and then I was doing all my own stuff online. And then just last year, I started to do stuff within independent wrestling with being a backstage correspondent and now ring announcer. I love that. And that's what I want to, hopefully do for the rest of my life, to one day make wrestling a full-time thing where I'm a backstage correspondent and also a wrestling promotion with the TV deal. And also Camp Leapfrog, shout out to them. That was a fun thing. That was a fun project you got to work with Phil Stamford. I was just talking about Phil, and shout out to Phil because he's a great person. But yeah, working with him and just everybody else there. That was a pretty cool concept they had. I like that. That was
I love Camp Leapfrog. As now we, the producers of High Tension Wrestling now have their own thing, which is like we still have our Camp Leapfrog crew there kind of. And I know that we're still in talks of, Camp Leapfrog returning. I know it's coming soon. We obviously it's in the process, and I'm very excited for it to return, as it's such a great group of people. And I see them, still like at High Tension, which is like coming up October 22nd. We'll have our Halloween show. I'm very, very excited for that. So it's still good to be around everybody. And like you said, Phil, who's our president, and then, High Tension with the Maestro and Alex, everybody's such, so great there. And I'm so happy that they brought me into their family.
So fans, go back on check it out on IWTV, Camp Leapfrog. Just type it in the search. You can find that. And this is a fun fun promotion to watch all the wrestlers, your favorite wrestlers, and people that you don't even know. Just have a fun outside camping at a campground, like just have fun. It's a great experience. That's fun. They need more shows like that. More wrestling, fun outdoors. Like with that was like couture back in the day. You need to have the fun. Bring it back. And of course we do have lucha. That's fun too. Lucha experiences that's something I still have not done on my bucket list. I would like to go to Mexico and see a real lucha match.
Definitely, like, so many things on the bucket list to do for wrestling. There's still like a lot.
There, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I still want to go to the West Coast, East Coast. I still want to go West Coast. I got friends out there that wrestle. I'm in Florida wrestling. I'm excited to, there's so much cool wrestling. People need to be exposed and see. But WWE also, people need to go out and support WWE as well. I'm starting to like it again. I haven't watched it since I just caught it. But I read the sheets and I read the sheets and all the indie sites. And I keep up to date with all, what's going on, which is a good thing. Everybody should. But let's what are you watching right now? Any good movies? Let's I like to mix it up. Any good movies catching your eye? I haven't watched anything. I always tell people I'm not a movie person like I used to be. I don't watch a lot of movies.
So I actually was just at the theaters recently. Me and my friend saw After Ever Happy. I think that's the name of the title, but it was like the 4th movie in the After series, and we've been wanting to see it before it left the theaters. So that was pretty good. I really want to see The Invitation because that looked really good, and I heard that was a great movie. But I just got watching on Netflix. I just got done watching He's Not That Into You. That was interesting. I was like, that was a good movie. I don't know what's next on my list though. Probably something on Netflix. I usually try and find stuff and I save it to my list. Mm-hmm. And when I feel like I'm in a movie mood, I'll put it on because usually I'm a TV show kind of girl.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, TV shows. What do you like? Ooh, what are your TV shows?
I'm currently rewatching Seinfeld at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Seinfeld's a great one.
You can never go back on a side. Yeah, Seinfeld's a great. I remember meeting the grandparents at a convention one time. It was fun just to see them at a horror convention. They're great people. I was like, hey, you're Jerry's parents. Yeah. I was like, I wish I had met the Soup Nazi. That guy's the funniest. I like the Soup Nazi guy.
Yeah, my mom quotes him all the time. No soup for you, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, my sister too. My sister always gets me on that. I'm like, really? Come on. Yeah, but it's fun. What other shows, cartoon wise? Ooh, what do you got cartoon wise?
I don't know if I've watched any cartoon as of late.
I used to watch Bob's Burger or Family Guy or Simpsons, of course. The Simpsons, everybody loves the Simpsons. Yeah,
I haven't watched those in a couple of years. I don't know. I can't think of there's one that I had watched. I'm just not it's just not coming to my head right now.
Yeah, like Adult Swim or I don't know. There's so many weird cartoons now out there for these kids. I don't even watch it. I go back and watch whatever.
Yeah, I think maybe Beavis and Butthead or King of the Hill. I like King of the Hill as well.
Mm-hmm. Those are good ones. But yeah, but I think actually didn't they just release the Bob's Burger movie? I think I have to see that. I still got to see that. So I gotta watch that this week after Titan after a Saturday night causing damage. So yeah, might as well talk about it. Causing Damage, big card coming up this week in Tom's River at the Adrenaline Sports Academy as they present Causing Damage. It's going to be a good night of local action. You'll be experiencing your female action. Are you excited? That's going to be really don't you wish you could be out these shows just to check them out and be there? Oh, you never know, right?
Yeah, I always sometimes tend to go to, shows mm-hmm. that I might not be booked on just to, see some friends and enjoy the wrestling. I love to do that, because you don't have to go if you're not, even if you're not booked, you could still go and support, mm-hmm. friends and other local the promotion and the other wrestlers. Like I enjoy doing that. Like me and my friend recently went to Invictus Professional Wrestling a couple weeks ago to support, you know, our friend and some other friends that we got to see for the show. It was amazing. They did a great job. So it's fun to go do like local indie shows, because, you know, of course, like the bigger name ones come around time to time, but go support your local independent professional wrestlers as well. You know, they're putting on shows almost like, you know, how many weeks or how many times a month. So it's great.
That's awesome. Yeah. Are you going to be attending anything this week or going anywhere? Do you have any shows that you're going to be checking out or attending?
Not this weekend. I am going on a little vacation this weekend, so I can't wait for that. Just need a little vacation before, you know, everything starts getting a little hectic. But possibly next weekend there might be something. I can't say as of yet. I can't like put it out in the public, but there might be something next weekend.
Sweet. So that's awesome, Samira. But you know what? I think we're good to go here. Actually, no. Music-wise, let's get into what's on your playlist. What do you like to listen to these days?
So these days I'm listening to a lot of Bozzy, as his album is dropping tomorrow. So I'm really excited. I'm going on his tour when they come around. But I tend to listen to a lot of Arabic music. I'm always listening to either like Arabic music or ABBA or a Bozzy, like something like that, or Mamma Mia.
My neighbors, they listen to it all. They play it all and they run a Dunkin' Donuts. You know, I gotta yell at them. I gotta get some free coupons. Speaking of that, my guys at work. But no, it's music-wise, like, you know, it's awesome. Yeah, even like a playlist of like your local independent wrestler or wrestling also has a good playlist of music-wise too. You know, I tell people to check out this band, man, because they did this cover and they do this, and you know, there's just so much music that helps boost these wrestlers, you know, and females as well, you know.
Yeah, totally.
And I guess that's a wrap. What do you think? I think we covered.
Yeah.
Feel free to plug what you have coming up, because I have a podcast tomorrow with Kimmy.
Oh, how nice.
What the heck was that banner? All right, there we go. Boom. Yeah.
Yeah, so as you know, below, like if everybody can see, it says, you know, Linktree, that it's Samira, and that's where you can find like all my socials, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, as well as my YouTube channel where I post all my interviews. And, you know, some shows that you could see me upcoming at is High Tension Wrestling, October 22nd, Halloween show. I'll be back in Boca Raton, Florida for Boca Raton Championship Wrestling November 6th. As we were talking about before, making my ring announcing debut. Goddesses of War on February 25th, 2023. Please go get your tickets. It's all women's promotion and very exciting. There's so many things coming up. I also have some other dates. I can't really exactly tell you what promotion, making, you know, my promotion debut at other places. And, you know, there's a lot of things coming. I'm very excited. And just, you know, as long as you follow my social media, you'll know where I'll be at and follow me along for the journey.
Well, I want to say thank you for coming on, Samira, and we'll do this down the road again.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I will see you in February. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. And tomorrow night, I'm going to have podcaster analyst as well. She's a part of the panels. She on the Goddesses War. I'm going to be talking to Kimmy. So cool. Looking forward to talking to her at 8 p.m. about the Goddesses of War and just wrestling in general, and have fun, talk wrestling, support wrestling. As always, support female wrestling, support the LGBT wrestling community, and just support wrestling in general. How's that? That's a wrap, everybody. Good night, everybody. Until next time on the Deathmatch Wrestle podcast. I hate these stupid banners. There it is.
You can find more Deathmatch Wrestle podcast on the following. Just hit the like button and share. You can hear the audio portion of Deathmatch Wrestle podcast on Stitcher Radio and on iTunes. Social media, Deathmatch Wrestle podcast on Facebook, Twitter at DavidNJ32, Instagram, DavidNJ36, YouTube, David C. Russell, and DeathmatchWrestlePodcast.com. Joner's Wrestling Podcast Network. Head over to wrestlingwithjoners.com. Follow them on Facebook, Joners Wrestling Podcast Network. Twitter, @WithJoners_pod. I want to mention Collar and Elbow. collarandelbowbrand.com. Use the promo code Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast and save 10% off when you make a purchase. Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast.
Be sure to visit brainbustertees.com for Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast merchandise.